Alrighty, let's try that one more time. Mic was muted. That was my bad. And how do we start? Hello, everybody. Live from Columbus, OH. This is the Ramsey Show After Show. Try that one more time. Mic was muted. That was my bad. Mute that. Okay. And so, yeah. So it's much better with sound when you can hear what I'm saying. And so that's awesome. And of course, Columbus, Ohio, the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, the college football national champions. Congratulations to them. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and if you have money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That link's in the ticker below, also in the video description. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and this is the main page that pops up. You just scroll slightly down past the Oak Island playlist and you get to the Ramsey Show After Show and the Answering Your Financial Questions. Two different playlists there, and also the music playlist, 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Do give those a listen. Fun times. Market report, and of course it's not scrolled up. I think that's the only problem today. We'll see. I think that's the only non-ready for the stream that I've done. NASDAQ up the most today, 1.28%. And the Russell Small Cap, the only negative today, 0.61% down. But that basically, if you have a balanced portfolio, that will even out with the 61% up that the S&P 500 is. So overall, market up. Dow Jones up as well. I don't know. Let's see. S&P was a new record today, I believe. Let's see if the maybe not quite. Let's see. That is 10:30 a.m. So it would be right there. What is that? Trying to look past the ring light on the camera. 44136, and so it's above that, and that was this morning. All right, so yeah, so Dow's at a new high, looks like, and S&P as well. Look at the last 5 days, and we're here where it's up the most. Here is at 3 p.m. and it doesn't count it, and what it counts is what the market closes at. And that's always shown the previous day. Well, maybe not. Maybe just on the one day. Yeah, on the one day, the dotted horizontal line here, not the vertical one that's moving across the screen, but the stationary horizontal line is yesterday's close right here at like around $6,050 right there, and then right up here is what it opened up at. So a good day today for the market overall, with only the small cap being down. See what the rest of the planet looks like. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Let's do that. There we go. Europe mostly up. Asia mostly up as well. Let's see what that US dollar is doing today. US dollar down to the euro, but up against the Japanese yen. US dollar up against the British pound, love. Up against the Canadian dollar, sorry. CP up there in Canada, laughing at our little bit of snow we have here. And of course the US dollar up against the Australian dollar-mate. Australia wanted to be higher, and we just turned it back on them and said NAR. N-A-U-R. NAR is Australian for no, apparently. Oh, let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Futures. Let's see what tomorrow looking good so far. We'll see. All that could change. By tomorrow, if the right politician or right person burps wrong, that could all change. Let's see. Oh, we got earnings today. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and GE Vernova, which I found out. I can't remember if I have that. Do I have that here somewhere? GE Vernova, did I do that? No, but I did look it up, and it's still GE, but they added Vernova to it because it's something like Nova is like new, and so that means like there's a new thing, and so it's marketing is the deal on that, and Ver is like Verde, which is green, and so basically they want to say, we're going to be, responsible with our energy making and getting money from you. We're going to be, climate conscious, etc., etc. And so that's all that is. That's why they just added that to it. But it is the same old General Electric. And as I said, all three of these guys reported better than expected earnings, and they all put out outlook for the next quarter that they would make money again. And so, but for some reason, Johnson & Johnson down today, let's take a look, unless it went up in the last hour. No, it didn't. Almost 2% down today. So, and as I said, let's see if it says on here. Quarter four earnings beat, but headwinds remain. Okay, so somebody's worried about something. I don't know what it is, but I saw before that the outlook is good as well. Let's see. The guidance is what? Guidance offset earnings. Weak sales guidance. I saw another thing that said it was fine. So maybe that one article that I saw, or the headline rather that I saw, was not painting a good picture. Okay, so that can happen even if it makes more than you thought it was going to. If they say, well, we don't think we're going to make quite as much next quarter, then that's when the traders get kind of upset about it. But the other ones, Procter & Gamble and GE Vernova, those guys both went up. Pretty big as well. I think I have one of them here. Yeah, GE Vernova. And up 2.67% today, so they're doing well. Again, the dotted horizontal line is yesterday's close, and so it opened way up, as you can see, the one green line all the way to the far right here. It opened way up and then crashed, and then they said, no, we were close to being right the first time, and then it just went back up, and then it didn't get quite up to the frenzy that it was first thing in the morning and down in the after hours, which is this gray. Actually, it's about the same. Yeah, just a little bit down in the after hours trading so far. So that's that. Oreo releasing this flavor for the first time. Okay, and I did not look ahead, so I will be surprised. This will be a live first time reaction. And so let's check it out. All right. Oh, I can't remember that guy's name. Wasn't it Post Malone? That's who that is. Not his target audience for sure. They partnered with Post Malone for next limited edition. A limited edition. It's like your shopping channel guy says stuff like that. It's a one of a kind limited edition. Something a cookie created with Malone that has a swirled cream filling, which mixes salted caramel or caramel, however you want to say it, and shortbread flavor cream, and is sandwiched between a chocolate cookie and a golden cookie. All right. Oh, so that's one side of it. That's the other side of it. Got it. All right. Cookies are engraved with 9 designs inspired by the artist such as vinyl records and a guitar pick. It's the newest creation for the Mondelez owned cookie, which regularly releases flavors to keep the 110-year-old brand in the cultural zeitgeist, and you do want to do that. And you know, you always want to be saying, hey, buy our sugar product, please, and let's all make money and have sugar, and hopefully not get the beatus. Hopefully. This from, where's this from? 404media.com. Medical device company tells hospitals they're no longer allowed to fix machine that costs six figures. You just have to buy a new one that costs six figures as well. And you know, this is this kind of stuff here, like the Apple thing, where in the bloody UK, they had a lawsuit or something, and they came up with I think they did a law that was the right to repair law, which means you can't put fixing your item into a thing that only you can do for a very high price, that kind of thing. And so don't know if anything like that will happen here. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that they'll just charge us more money to pay for the machine that needs to constantly be rebought. And also, if it keeps needing repair, then maybe you don't buy that. Maybe somebody invents something else. This from thestreet.com. Verizon customers threatened to leave after the latest announcement, and I did skim this one. It is because, let's see, Verizon revealed that it earned $19.8 billion in revenue from its wireless service, a roughly 3% year-over-year increase. Verizon has also more than doubled its total numbers of new wireless postpaid phone subscribers year-over-year. Okay, first of all, don't do that. Go prepaid, and not with the big boys, not with Verizon, not with T-Mobile even. Use a discount carrier like Mint Mobile, which uses the T-Mobile towers, and Visible uses the Verizon towers. And so, but T-Mobile bought Mint Mobile, but they're still keeping it active as a discount carrier. And so, first of all, don't do that. But despite positive growth, Verizon has implemented a series of pricing adjustments over the past few months, demanding more money from its wireless customers. And in October, Verizon reduced its auto-pay discount for older phone plans from $10 to $5 a month. Okay, well, you know, they're getting greedy or something. They think their service is worth that, and how you can get away from that is, again, do not use them. Obviously, you do not finance a freaking new iPhone every year or every 2 years. You do not need to do that. Buy your phone in cash, and you use a discount carrier instead. Another major change. I did not see this part. Oh, another significant pricing change. The My Plan accounts, 5 or more lines will soon have to pay an extra $3 monthly for each line. Okay, so they're not playing around. So definitely stick with them if you want to pay more money. Let's get into questions. What up, Di? Everybody else that's watching, thank you so much. And everybody that may be watching later. I'm fine if you watch later. That's good. That's fine. I understand. Nobody has time, and especially like right now, it's, you know, it's 5:43 p.m. Eastern time, and so a lot of families at dinner, etc., are getting ready for such. So I get it. This was deleted. I might have talked about this a little yesterday. Let's see, selling my, because I know there was one deleted that I talked about, because there weren't many comments in it either at the time, so I was wondering why it got deleted. I mean, the poster actually deleted their account. So possibly because didn't want to be called out in the comments anymore, and also didn't want anybody. I mean, because you keep getting notified when people respond, so maybe that's why they didn't like. Um, Selling my house to my son. Considering selling my house to my son, I'm building another house, and I own this house free and clear. Yeah, I don't remember answering this. Let's see. I like. Oh, comma, like many others, and that's exactly how it should be. Maybe a semicolon. No, no, comma's right there. Built it over 20 years ago at a fantastic price. Great. How could I sell it to him at a great price and yet help him avoid the gift tax? You are the one that pays the gift tax. The person that is giving the gift pays the gift tax. I'm considering a bank loan for half the value and then a personal loan. How are you considering a loan for him? You're doing it wrong. And see, I mean, this is great if you want to. You said you own the house, right? Free and clear. You can give it to him, or if you want money, you can sell it to somebody else. When you start to do financial transactions within family or a friend group, that is asking for trouble. So many people have called with things like this, called to the Ramsey show, and it ruins relationships for sure. Like Dave says, even if it doesn't ruin the relationship, Dave says Thanksgiving dinner tastes different when you have a loan outstanding in a family. Let's see, where was it? Bank loan for half the value, and then a personal loan for the rest. I think I can gift him $18,000 a year. Again, you can gift him more. You just have to apply it to your lifetime exclusion amount. And within 6.6 years, he would own the personal loan, half of the house. Does this sound reasonable? No, you either give it to him or he gets his own mortgage for it. Let's see, would a bank offer a half house loan? Yeah, I mean, you'd have to give him half of the whatever you want to sell it to him for. You would have to gift that money to him so that he could put that. No, wait a minute. No, yeah. Yeah, you just sell it to him for half the amount, and then he only needs to get a loan for half the amount. You are not involved in him getting a loan on that, so I don't know. I don't know what the person's thinking here. Also have another child, so she is a factor in regard to keeping everything equal. Yeah, yeah. So, and that's on you. So maybe you don't do this, or you tell him, "I'm going to sell the house. If you would like the house, you can buy it and I'll sell it to you cheaper for this amount." But again, to make it good with the other child, what are you going to do for there? So again, this kind of, when you start talking about money and families and friends, it's just a bad situation generally. Interesting quote. According to the report, 34% of U.S. homeowners will never sell their homes. Yeah, I mean that's a common thing. You'll get some financial bros and other people that will say, "Oh, you never sell real estate. You never do." Um, let's see. While 27% plan to wait at least 10 years before breaking out the for sale sign. All right. Now the 24% plan to sell in 5 to 10 years. That's pretty close to a three-way split on that. 8% plan to sell in 3 to 5 years. Right. And the advice is to not buy the house. The Ramsey advice is not buy a house if you're not going to be there more than 5 years. Only 7% plan to sell in the next 3 years. Okay. And so that doesn't affect your situation here. Oh, let's see what some ideas are. How many comments? Oh, it doesn't say on that page. Sell it just over what you paid for it. Shows capital gains, but gives him a deal. Avoids gifting. There you go. Talk to an estate planning lawyer. Exactly. To see what the best way to do that is. But again, you trying to engineer the loan and all that stuff, no, that's a no. You just tell him the price, and if he can afford it, he can afford it. And you do have to consider the other child, and you don't get to have everything equal unless you're gonna give the other child just cash for it, or your new house, the one you're building. So, oh, that's the deal on that. So the advice is no, or you just do it like a business deal. You can give them a break on the price, but otherwise it's just like you would be selling it to anybody else. We have, what do we have? Kooky Literature 751. So just inherited $1 million. What to do? I, 41 man, recently inherited about $1 million from a family member. That's the best part. That's the best way to do giving, is when you're already passed. And so you give it as inheritance. That way you don't have to worry about any of it. But you definitely don't want to have any situation where you have multi-millions dollars, and then you're gonna make one kid the administrator of the trust that it's in, and then all the other kids get screwed. Oh, because he'll equally disperse it. No, he won't. You have to put that in your will to make sure that happens. Been a lot of calls like that on the Ramsey show as well. It's $500,000. An inherited IRA required RMD means that it will have to be empty in 10 years. Right. So you can let it grow unless you need the money for something and you don't need that extra growth, which that extra growth would be great. And another $500K in a brokerage account. This money is an unexpected windfall, and I'm incredibly grateful, as you should be. To be the recipient of it. I have told one very close friend about this, but do not feel I can tell anyone else. Hence Reddit. All right, yeah. Well, we had one yesterday that was just wanted to rant, didn't really have a question, just wanted to rant. And so if it makes you feel better to do that, sure, why not? My situation, I have 2 kids, both under 10. And none of this really matters. You would take that. You can let the inherited IRA. You can just take out what you are made to take out every year, but otherwise you can leave it. And so you make it take 10 years. Before that's done, the 500 in the brokerage account, 500,000, you would take that and apply it to the baby steps. And hopefully that takes you all the way through to baby step 7. That would be if you're in the best possible situation, then that would take you to 7 if you're not already there. So let's see what's up. Work for entertainment management company, and as such, my income varies from year to year. 65K to 200K. Okay, so you should budget on 65K. And if 65K a year isn't enough to pay your expenses, then you need probably a Hill and Valley account for when it's not as much. So that also means your expenses per year should not be more than 65K. So you might need to cut some stuff as well. Let's see, I own an $6,000 home with my soon-to-be ex-wife. Beep, 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 that will happen. 500K in mortgage. So see, that's a same. And how you would handle that with an ex-wife, if her name is on it as well, with my soon-to-be ex-wife, with her name on it being as well, and if you want to cut her out of this windfall, I don't know what you have to do for that. You would consult a lawyer on that, or yeah, the lawyer probably would be able to at least tell you the basics of it anyway, about how you would do that. I guess you. I don't know. Maybe you each have half the mortgage on it or something like that, or they split it up somehow first before you apply any of this windfall to it. But if you have it, I mean, that's going to be in records, so that would be what you're worth, and so it just depends on how the court sees the situation. We get along very well. Great, or well, not very well. Divorce is amicable, but we both definitely want to divorce. Okay, we're still living together. House is big enough to accommodate our separation and us having separate bedrooms. Okay. There is also a separate house on the property, Richie's, which one of us would consider moving into, as it gives enough privacy and would enable us to be close to the kids. Okay. And is that like that's all the same mortgage? Includes both houses on that property? That's the 800K home. It doesn't say the whole thing, so I don't know. Because I received the inheritance after filing for divorce, my wife knows she's not entitled to half. Oh, really? Is that how it works? I did not know that, because the divorce not final. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. I know that inheritance is not considered marital property. Okay, I did not know that as well. We're all learning. She asked me for 200K from it. All right. This seems reasonable for general goodwill between us. If you're down with it, that's fine. That's your decision. We have another 150K in savings, which will be divided evenly in the divorce. Right. Especially if you're giving her 200K when you don't have to give her anything legally, then, I mean, that makes sense. Then just everything else split right down the middle. Credit card debt, 10K. Should I just let it sit in the accounts? It has been earning a decent amount of interest each year, matching the S&P, or would anyone recommend buying an Airbnb rental property, etc.? 529 plan? Yes, you can start a 529 plan if you haven't done that already, but all of a sudden, because you get a bunch of money, then all of a sudden you want to be an Airbnb person. Right? And that would not be advised, but yeah, it's your money. You can do whatever you want to with it. But I might do, like I said, I might do a half and half thing where you see how much $500 in the $500,000, excuse me, in the brokerage account, you liquidate that and get yourself to step 7. How much? And how you pay it off too, and you split that mortgage with the wife, especially if she's going to be living there. I mean, if it's a smaller house that she's going to be living in, maybe you work that out somehow. But if the mortgage includes the property with both houses on it, then that's great. And so, like I said, I would just, you can give them a break on the amount, the price of it. And so if it's a quarter smaller, maybe you pay 75% of what's left on it, and she pays the other. And so, but how you work that out, I don't know, because you could pay off your portion immediately if you're on step 5. So the credit card debt, so you're on step 2 still, so that's pretty dumb, and only having that much in there. Why is that not paid off already? Who knows? Who knows what happened? It could be just something. Maybe one of them is using it and maybe still used it, or maybe didn't use it since filing for divorce. Who knows? We don't have all the answers. But yeah, so I wouldn't just all of a sudden decide, oh, I have this money now, so I'm going to be an Airbnb guy. So that wouldn't be it. If you've never thought of that before, then I don't think you want to do it bad enough. And you know what? Nobody's going to call you with problems in the middle of the night if you just have it in mutual funds. And that will help you. And besides, you shouldn't be doing that until you are on step 7 anyway. Because your house should be paid off. You should be already addressing the kid college, etc., etc. Let's see, 53 comments. Just want to see. Oh, yep, baby steps. Oh, after the divorce is official. So this person suggests that is in baby step 7. Supposedly, allegedly. Says after divorce official and legal, follow the baby steps one at a time. And that's basically what I was saying. First mistake, telling you receiving $1 million. Of course, knew he was going to get that one. Don't give 20% of it to her. Yeah, so you're gonna get bro in here. Let's see. The drain rules. I'm just saying if there's other information by the OP. I do not see the blue OP circle there. Or the blue OP letters for original poster. Just to see if there was going to be any extra information. Does not look like it. And that's to be understandable because just like the other person, and this person deleted their user account and was just a commenter. Weird. All right. So yeah, but definitely you can talk to your lawyer about it and give recommendations and stuff like that. And you can you cut her in on whatever you want. And if the problem with that is that if you were trying to use giving her 20% of it, but it was 200,000, right? Yeah, 200,000 for it, and she asked you for it. So that means that maybe 199,000 wouldn't be enough, and then she would have problems, and then she wouldn't be so amicable and get along with you as well. So that's just what you have to deal with. So boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and waiting until the divorce is final might be the best option that the person before in the comments suggested, because then you know who has to pay what, who has to do what, and you could work it out with her in advance. You could say, okay, I will assume full control, full mortgage, and full deed, and I will assume responsibility for both of those, and then on the back end, like I said, so and this too, it's just we don't know what her deal is, and so this is really when you need to have both people's version of it, because so. She wants $200,000, so you give her the $200,000. So on top of that, does she also want to live for free in the secondary house on the property? You know, so there's a bunch going in here, but basically the answer is like once you get post divorce, you would just go through and apply it to the baby steps, and 500K will do that. That's in the brokerage account, so you don't need to touch the 500K in the inherited IRA, and you can just take out what you need to once a year. I believe you have a limited amount, certain amount you have to take out every single year, and it does have to be completely empty within 10 years. All right, that was a long time on that one, but it was interesting. Di says they need legal advice and counseling. Definitely the legal advice. I mean, they're getting divorced, and so whatever problems they have, they might not need counseling for otherwise, but maybe financial counseling, because it didn't with the 10K in debt. You also don't know if he's been following Dave's advice or it just happened upon this subreddit. Who knows? And so, you know, at least the FPU, if not already doing things Dave's way, but the 10K credit card, again, that could just be one of their card, or both names could even be on it, but only one was using it. So difficult to say. How do the wealthy use money? Well, some of them use it correctly, where you use it and you invest to make money. And that could include the only way to invest, per Dave Ramsey, is that you would buy real estate paid for completely in cash, or you invest it. So, I mean, you could also try to start a business as well, but that has to be money you are completely fine with losing, because most businesses go under. Now, somebody wealthy, able to front a lot of the money early, that might give it a little bit more. That gives you more time to get things going, so that may affect the odds of success on that. But let's see. I know Dave Ramsey talks about everyday millionaires who got rich wealthy over time with the slow growing long-term investment strategies, etc. Right. And so that's what you would do unless you want to start your own business or you want to be a landlord and have rental properties. What I'm more curious about is the mega rich, okay, even though that doesn't apply to either of us, sir or madam. How do they spread out their money to maximize it most? Well, there's plenty of legal stuff that they can do to protect it and protect themselves from taxes and so forth. There's plenty of stuff that they can do. Loopholes, etc. Do they take more aggressive investments in the market? Some of them do, some of them don't. I don't think there's going to be a definitive answer for this question, because it depends on how they approach it. Is everything they own tied up in trust, including cars, homes, etc.? That's generally wisest, because that's less risk for them as far as liability. How do they avoid taxes while still being able to gain? Because you do write-offs, etc., etc. Whatever legal stuff you can do, it's legal. Social resources like Medicare, Social Security, yeah, whatever's legal. Do they really use Cayman Island bank accounts? I'm sure some of them do. Or was it truly a slow rolling thing? Any and all, because all the extremely wealthy are not the same. How best do they keep money within their families for generational wealth? And so you asking this on Reddit is ridiculous. Because nobody that has that kind of money probably reads the Reddit or pays much attention to online stuff, unless you're, say, Elon Musk or somebody like that. Because if you have that kind of money, other people's opinions don't matter. Let's see. How best do they keep the money within their families for generational wealth? And that's where your trust comes in as well. What is it they aren't telling us about these various strategies? They're not coming out and telling you exactly what they do, and different ones do different plans. I want to be more financially illiterate, make my money work for me, but some of the advice I hear see is counterintuitive. Some say get a whole life policy, and that's a no. Nair. N-A-U-R. A nair. Others say it's a scam. It is. It is. If you get a term life policy for the death benefit amount, that's the same. It's going to cost you a lot less to get the term life policy, and then you can invest using the difference in price. And if you do that, you will make more money than whatever crappy investments they had in the whole life policy. And also, if you open up a investment account, then you get to leave that to your heirs or the charity, either one. But if you die with the whole life, they pay the death benefit, but you don't get the investment. That's why that's dumb. And so a lot of people are, what the thing is that you can do like cash out of it. You can they call it infinite banking, that kind of thing, where you put the whole life policy up as collateral, and then you get the loan for it that way. And so none of that crap, of course, advised by Mr. Ramsey. So he would say get the term life and invest yourself instead, and not even invest if you're on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Not yet. If they leverage debt, I would think most of them do. I don't know. I don't have any stats on that, but I would think most of them do. But I'm sure they do. But again, if you're familiar with Mr. Ramsey, then you know darn well that he's wealthy and he didn't do that. Or, he learned from trying to do it when he was young. And so he learned since then. And so, yeah, he built his empire, built his company on zero amount of debt. Loans against investments as debt isn't taxed. Yeah, so that's a no. We don't do it like that here. But generally, overall, wealthy people, all kinds of different things. All kinds of different things. I'm sure some of them don't really do anything. They might have it in a high yield savings account or in the market, and that's it. And they're out. And honestly, not gonna lie, I would say that's probably what I would do too, because I don't want to be a landlord. I don't know. I would possibly start some kind of business if I could think of a good one to do. But otherwise, it's no hassle to have it grow in the market for you. That doesn't present any problems for you if it grows in the market. Anything else, you try to do a business or you try to have some other investment, that might not work. How can I grow my money in a similar but totally legal way so it can work for me? Well, again, you said this is the wealthy, my friend. So you cannot do the same things that they can do, assuming that you are broke. So you aren't in the same position, so you can't do the same things that they can do. So illogical, Captain. Thanks for any all answers. Advice other than day trading, because day trading BS guru stuff, please. All right. Yeah. So, anything that's a quick get rich quick scheme, if it's a really fast turnaround on something, that would be a no, probably. That's probably too much risk involved in that. So, but yeah, you can't do a lot of what they do because it requires that much money to be able to do some of the stuff that they do. Alrighty. Specific replacement 1, high yield savings account versus paying down mortgage. And this is answered in the baby steps, sort of. Bum, 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 bum. Where is it? Where are the baby steps? There they are. I found them. All right. So here's how it's answered by the baby steps. I do not see anywhere on there where it says to save extra money past the 3 to 6 months of expenses. I don't see anywhere where it says that. It does, however, says to pay off your home mortgage early. So any reasonable person looking at this would say, oh, it doesn't say to have extra savings other than the emergency fund. And granted, as we hopefully all know, that does include if you have to pay for, if you have a known upcoming expense that you don't think you can cash flow just out of that week or the week's paycheck or the month's worth of paycheck. If you can cash flow it, do that. If it's something you can't cash flow, then yeah, you can start a savings account for that. So like if you know you're going to need tires in 6 months, you can begin putting a couple bucks into a sinking fund for that. And that is for that reason only. But you don't have a general, I might want to spend money savings. Or just in case something happens. That's what the emergency fund is for. You do not need that. And so, and the emergency fund also keeps you from spending money, or it should, because as this general fund would not, because that means anything that pops up that you think, oh, that's so cute, or oh, I really want to buy that, like a new tech gadget for me. I put it in for me. I put it in the guise of a new tech gadget that came out, and it was like, oh, that's $500. I want to have that. Whereas if I didn't have that savings account, that money would already be applied to the baby steps, and so that would be already gone. So, and then when that comes out, you say, well, that's $500. I don't have that. And then at that point, you could say, okay, I'll save up for it now, and that's fine as well. Once you get on baby step 4, you can have a $500 tech gadget if you want. You just have to put it in the budget or save for it. But yeah, high yield savings account. And so that, my friend, is what we call debt leverage. You are leveraging that mortgage. You're leveraging, putting your house up as collateral so that you can have extra savings. And so that's a nair from Mr. Ramsey. How about we read the question after I've answered it fully? Here's a math question. Okay, if you're only gonna do it by math, and sometimes there was a guy today that where it didn't work out for him mathematically even. So definitely, if it doesn't work out mathematically or with risk involved, because risk is not on your calculator, then you definitely don't do it. But then if you want to follow the Ramsey advice, you still don't do it to make a little bit of, like, for example, this person, high yield savings account, 4.75%, the mortgage is at 3%, so that's 1.75% difference. And so you're debt leveraging by keeping the mortgage around to make that 1.75% difference. And of course, that's not going to be a bunch of money to begin with, because as you fund it, there's only going to be a little bit in at the beginning. Already has 100K in there. Okay, so that makes it a little bit more apples to apples there. But yeah, you still wouldn't do that. Mathematically, sure, you would make a little bit of money out of that, but not enough to justify the risk that it takes to do that. Because what you can do is you can pay that mortgage off, and then after that, you'll be in step 7, you can have you can do extra investing instead of putting it in the high yield savings account. You can have as much in, say, high yield savings account as you want to at that time. Just pay off your freaking house first. That is less risk. Some people would suggest they would, because the rate of the high yield savings account is higher. I'm actually making more money, and you are in this case. There may be like other fees or something involved that might take a little bite of that 1.75%, but otherwise you're making 1.75%. I mean, some people do a lot to like make, 0.00001%. Like, I mean, I can't really say anything about that because I will go out of my way to save a dollar, to save $1 even. So that's like the opposite of it, but it's still the same thing basically. Um, I'm actually making more money by not paying down the mortgage. Again, not considering risk. Risk. There's no risk button on the calculator. However, I'm earning 4.75 on 100K. Right, we got it. We got it. You don't need to say the same thing over and over. For me, I'm still saving money by throwing the entire 100K towards the mortgage. Right, because you're not paying. You eventually will not be paying that 3%. In addition, the monthly payment through equal amount is always skewed toward paying more interest in the initial installments. Thoughts? Yeah. And so, I don't get this. So if this person is thinking that to begin with and saying, I think I should do, I think I should do this. And then if you're familiar at all with the Ramsey advice, then that's exactly what he recommends. What is it about you that says, oh, I should get somebody else, somebody random person I don't know on the internet? I should get their opinion on it. I would be fine with me figuring it out as the best thing to do, and then Mr. Ramsey agreeing with me would be enough for me. But you never know. Some people just want to argue, and some people think there's a magic reason to do it other than the math, which there's not. Alrighty. Disgruntled engine. It's like engine, and the E is a 3, and then there's another 3, and then R. I don't know. Engineer. Oh, I got it. Disgruntled engineer. Figured it out. Not today, dementia. Emergency fund to the rescue, and that's what it's for. I just got out of baby step 3, and literally, I don't know why I did the Dr. Evil thing. For that, literally, Rob Lowe from Parks and Rec, literally. And he has a podcast now called Literally. Literally upped my investing contributions this past month when my Jeep did Jeep things and ended up in the shop. I just got a call and it looks like $8,700 repair. I then got to have an emergency fund. $8,700 repair. I mean, that might seem like, for me, that might be time to buy a $5,000 used car instead and sell the Jeep for whatever you can get for it, scrap or whatever. Let's see. Greater than that number, okay. Also, a water line broke in my yard. The plumber quoted $8,000. And again, you want to get more than one quote on both of these things. I know it might be hard to get your vehicle to a different mechanic, though. But it is easy to have another plumber come out to take a look at it. Looks like I'm going to be putting my plumbing expertise to work. Okay. I am actually capable to do the repair. Then yes, your time is the best thing to do. So eventually you'll get to a spot in life where you're like, I could do that, but I have the money to pay for somebody else to do it, and so you do it. Like, for example, you have a maid, that kind of thing, or you have a pay a cleaner to come in and do that. If you're in that hashtag season of life where you have that extra money, more power to you, but just barely getting out of step 3, that's when you would think about ways to not use the emergency fund. You cash flow what you can cash flow, and otherwise, like you save the $8,000. I mean, granted, I'm sure some of that is for materials, not for the labor, but if you can do the repair, you can do the repair. So, but yeah, that's what the emergency fund is. But you still try to leave the emergency fund intact as best you can. If you can cash flow it, cash flow it. Recast versus principal buy down. This from Feeling Ad 6671. Question. My wife and I. So you wouldn't do either of these generally. Let's see. You would just pay it off as quick as you can. My wife, 31, and I, especially if you have other baby steps to deal with. So, like, you wouldn't be doing any of this stuff probably if you were on baby step 2 or 3. Are trying for a kid. I'm risk averse, so trying to get monthly expenses down as much as we can while we are dual income, no kids. Okay? That's great. We're getting our bonus in March, which should be around $50,000 and a combination of cash, restricted stock units. Debt year 2 with $385,000 left on mortgage principal. I understand trying for a kid or thinking you might have a kid in the future and then saying, oh yeah, I need a $400,000+ house. That seems pricey to me, but regardless, maybe high cost of living area, who knows. We started with 10% down. Again, dumb buying that much house and only putting 10% down, which means you have PMI as well, private mortgage insurance. And if you don't know what that is not insurance for you, the mortgage holder. That is insurance that you pay for the bank to have insurance if you don't pay the payment. So that's why, 10% though is fine with Dave for a first-time home buyer. I haven't really heard that lately though, so maybe he's coming off of that. I don't know. But previously on Mr. Ramsey, it was 10% down was fine for a first-time home buyer. But you gotta have 20% to avoid the PMI, private mortgage insurance. 405, yeah, principal house, and made 15,000-ish extra payments against principal once we got a handle on expenses in the first year. 7.5 interest. PI, TI, yeah, I can't remember what that is. Taxes is the T. Interest, payment, interest, tax, insurance. Figured it out. Not today to mention. 3.4K a month. No other debts besides mortgage. Fabulous. I was gonna say, because maybe you're doing, and this is completely normal for people to have other debt and then put more on the house, which is dumb as crap, especially after you look at the baby steps list and one's on step 2 and the other one's on step 6. So that's idiotic for you to do if you are familiar with the baby steps. And you want to follow, some people are familiar with the baby steps and they don't follow Dave's advice. But what would you be doing on the Dave Ramsey subreddit then? That seems illogical to me. But like, I can't remember. Jillian? Was that her character's name? I can't remember in Star Trek 4. About the whales, Spock says to hunt another species to extinction is illogical. And this was like before she knew they were from the future, etc., etc. And she just looked at him and said, "Whoever said the human race was logical," and he didn't have a comeback for that. So, yeah, so not logical. Paid off car this year, great. Past year, so it's only monthly bills and credit cards that I clear every month. Not going to advise that either. Mr. Ramsey does not advise playing the credit card game. Oh, let's see. And I'm assuming credit cards that I clear every month, that means uses the cards for the freaking rewards and then pays it off every month. It's still debt the second you use the card. So you do still have debt during that time before it's paid off. Household income $300,000 at the moment. What was that? $12K a month. And the house payment is doesn't say. Doesn't say. Boom, 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 boom. Whole life. That's a no. It's 3.4 thousand a month for mortgage and for everything, payment, interest, taxes, insurance. So that is 3.4 thousand a month, and that's 12K a month. So just a hair over 25%. So they can't afford it, but again, why would you need to spend that much money on a house for two adults? Why would you need to do that? I wouldn't think you would need to. But, maybe planning for the future, maybe knew they wanted kids. Who knows? But that would just be something that I would ask. Like if I was counseling somebody, coaching somebody, I would say, at least think about that. It's fine. You can afford it. That's fine. If you want to have that much wrapped up in house, and if you do end up having a lot of kids later, that will pay off for you because won't have to move, and so that's fine. But I would tell them to think about it if they were in this situation where it's just the two of them. You don't need it yet, so you stay renting, or you can start with a smaller house. Let's see. So yeah, so they're right at the amount. Where were we? What was the whole deal here for principal buy down? So, I mean, you're not interested in the baby steps because of the credit card usage, I'm assuming. Or if you are going to do the baby steps with the exception of continuing to use the credit card and pay it off every month, and think you're beating the bank that way. Let's see, 6-month emergency fund funded in a high yield savings account. All right, so high yield savings account is fine for the emergency fund if you have immediate access to it, because emergencies don't wait 1 to 3 days for a transfer before they happen. So don't do that. Yes, you are giving up a little interest, but it needs to be completely liquid. So don't do that. And I think a few high yield savings accounts do offer debit card or check writing access, and so just find one of those. But most of them don't do that, I don't think. Saving 12% towards retirement, and that would be 15%. So, if you looked at the baby steps, you're just doing what you want to anyway. So. Brokerage and you wouldn't be doing that. You would not be doing any brokerage for midterm investments. What does that mean, midterm investments? I don't know what that means. Does that mean like a bridge account so you can retire early? You don't have kids and retire early? So I don't know what that means, midterm investments. So you would not do that. You would be paying extra on the house. So you're doing it wrong. Our major events fund, early retirement, investment property, kids, wedding, hell. Just a sludge fund is what that brokerage firm account is. And so that's a nay. We don't have that until the house is paid off. You wanted that much house? Fine. Keep it. Pay it off before you have extra savings for just anything that might come up. That is not advised. Robinhood for riskier investments, that's a no as well. No, 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 no. Dumb as crap. My wife won't kill me if I lose it all. avoid DraftKings, sports betting, safe space. You don't have to do any of that. How about you don't do any of that? How about you be an adult and don't do any of that dumb crap? How about that? Health savings account, 24K. That's fine to do. Eventually switch plans with kid. Okay, so trying to get as high as possible. Okay. Whole life, dumb as crap. 450K death benefit. What's the is this on both of you? I know the common response here. You probably know the common response to all of it, and none of it's what you're doing, sir. Except you stuck close to the 25%, and that's more than most people do. I know the common response here, and this is your justification station here. And this is definitely throw good money after bad here. I know the common response here, but I started when I was 23 and view it as an emergency fund / death benefit for extended members of my family. That's dumb as crap. You can get the same death benefit cheaper on term, you dumb. Anyway. Benefit for extended members of my family. I have a term policy through work. Then you don't need that anyway. Dumb as crap. Context. I was hoping for rates to go down. Yeah, that's a no. How about we live in the world and not try to justify the things that you're trying to do and the things that you hope happen? That doesn't matter. You have to live where you are. We live a low cost of living, but both work remote. Okay, that's great. Expenses out of mortgage are low, but I know it will drastically increase with the kid. Maybe not drastic. That's up to you if it drastically increases. If you're doing that, you're spoiling, and you wouldn't be spoiling a newborn, like 0 to 1 years old. Anything you buy for the kid, you're spoiling yourself and your little dream of what parenting would be like. And so, that's fine up to a point, but it doesn't need to drastically increase, especially with your income. Quit being dumb. Probably another car too at some point. Why? As we share one at the moment. Okay, well, if you both work remote, there's no need to have a second vehicle. Oh, decision. Oh, they made a decision. Or is this what decision you need to make? Yeah. These are the ors, and it's probably not any of these. I'll go on record as saying it's probably not any of these three, and it's option 4 instead. Let's see. Was now thinking doing a recast, and that's a no, to bring down the obligated monthly payment while maintaining the. So if the house payment is too much for you, that you have to do a recast, then you bought too much house. So that's a no. And you would just use that extra money to do all this other dumb crap that you're doing. So that's a no on that. Nar. This would also free up money from emergency fund to invest, and that's a no as well. So you're going to invest more money and not pay the house off. That's not the Ramsey thing. So I don't know why. Why is this person here? Just doing a straight principal pay down and holding out to refinance later this year or next year. And why would you assume that rates are going to go down? That's dumb. Just like all your other stuff. Throw it in an index fund or high yield savings account and let it grow. Okay, so again, baby steps. Step 3 is grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses, fully funded emergency fund. Okay, step 4, invest 15% of your gross income into retirement. I don't see anywhere on here where it says have extra savings or extra investment. Does it say that on here? It does not. I will save you the time until give you the answer already. It does not say to do that. So that is dumb as crap. What it does say on here before you do, and you can do any of that dumb crap you want to, but you do it on step 7 after your house is paid off. You wanted the big house? Great. Pay it off and quit being dumb. Alrighty, fun time. Fun one. Fun one. But, you know, I mean, knows all the numbers, knows everything that's going on, knows the Ramsey advice, obviously. Why bother posting? If you feel that confident about it, do it. If you don't feel that confident about it, that means, guess what? That means you feel like you might be doing something wrong, and you would be correct about that. So, oh man, the way people think, I just don't get it. What time is it? Alrighty. All right, so that's another one in the books. Ramsey Show After Show. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you have financial questions or anything else, you can email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. youtube.com/coachstevemoney. Like I said, the financial content is after the Oak Island playlist. It's the Ramsey Show After Show and the financial questions, answering your financial questions. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. All right. And if you have money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or making sure you're not doing dumb things like that last poster, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That's in the ticker below and also the video description. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com if you have any questions about financial stuff or anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney or to CashApp $CoachSteveMoney or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams would be this show, the Ramsey Show After Show, and that is 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, weekdays following the YouTube portion of the Ramsey Show. So when they sign off of YouTube at 5:25 approximately p.m. Eastern Time, and they go to the Ramsey Network app for their last 42 minutes or so of video of the show exclusively on the Ramsey Network app. Once they leave YouTube, that's when I take over YouTube and do the after show. Alrighty. So much appreciated for watching. Thank you so much. Subscribe, please. Like and comment. Like is the thumbs up button. If you don't mind gently grazing that, or you can smash it if you'd like to, but not necessarily. You can just lightly graze it, and it'll register, and that will help me out. And so, thank you very much for doing that. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.